everyone. Dr. Beth Westy here. I am clearly having a great hair day, so that's what I wanted to share. Nothing about this. Just kidding. I wanted to come on and talk about hormones, eating for your hormones in your cycle, and how that affects your fat cells. This is something that, this is kind of what I specialize in. I'm a women's hormone expert, and I have my book, The Female Fat Solution, on nutrition for your hormones and your cycle, estrogen, progesterone, how to really get the most out of your body, out of your system all the time. It's very different for females. I have a whole chapter dedicated to how the history of nutrition is for men. So that's, right, like kind of crazy where people don't realize, like, oh my God, oh, really? It's, yeah. Ooh, all the nutrition information you're getting out there. Oh, that's for guys? Yeah. Yep. Because the female body does not function the same way every day. Ooh, I almost forgot to put my time markers up here, even though some of you ladies, right, you'll look at this and you'll be like, what? Or you'll be like, oh, I know what's happening here, right? Fun side note. So some of my girls have had, questions. My daughter's 10. And she'll ask some questions. When am I going to get boobs, Ma? So we'll talk about some stuff a little bit here and there. And we're talking about like hormones in the body and all these other things, right? So it all applies, and it's very important for women to know this information. So I think it's baffling that a lot of people don't know basic information about how their bodies work and function. So hormone cycle, day 1 is the first day of your period, day 14 is about when you would ovulate, and day 28 is when that ends. Again, it's not the same day to day. It is not the same week to week. It really does change for a lot of people all the time. So each week, look, you just have a different body all the time. Now, the really important thing with this here is estrogen is higher here, progesterone is higher here. These aren't exact, I'll tell you that. But estrogen does something completely different than progesterone. Estrogen is going to give you more energy. It's going to increase your metabolism. It's going to help with muscle tissue recovery. There's just a lot of different aspects of it. It will build lean muscle tissue a heck of a lot faster and easier here, in the beginning part than it will here. Progesterone is, you're going to feel like you kind of tired. It will break down muscle tissue easier. It's going to slow down your digestive system. It's really easy to get like an upset stomach or to feel like, ugh, that did not go well. Oh my gosh. Oh, hormones, right? Oh my goodness. So these are things where, hi Katie, where you really are focused on different hormones at different weeks to get the most out of your body. So the great thing about this is that you can choose different foods that match with what's going on internally. That's the wonderful thing. The tough thing about it, again, sort of to get used to, is that, yeah, it is different. It's totally different. Hi, Sarah. It's totally different week to week, right? So that's the other thing, is that to eat the same every week of the month is not necessarily going to benefit you the same as if you were, hey, I'm going to shift how I'm eating to match with my body and my hormones. Also, if you're wondering, just again with the hair situation today, I'm not super girly. This is a side note besides hormones, just so in case you're wondering. I'm not super girly. I don't like dressing up and stuff or whatever. I had to go shopping. I didn't actually go shopping. I sent my sister shopping for me because I was like, dude, I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. I'm going to get a rash from shopping because I have a TV appearance this week that I needed a new outfit for. So she went, and she's so great, and she did it for me, and I so appreciate her. But anyway, so stuff like this, I'm like, oh yeah, I just don't, whatever. I just roll around however I go, right? So I lifted heavy this morning, and then we had beach day. So this is just beach, like lifting heavy, and then I did go swimming in the pond, in the lake. So this is lake hair with a little bit of sweat underneath, in case you're wondering how to achieve this look. There you go. Okay. Estrogen, progesterone. Can't help me with my hair, right? But progesterone slows things down. So a lot of times you'll feel like, like after your period ends, you're like, ooh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energy. Honestly, there's like maybe, 10 days where you're feeling like at the top of your game. And you're feeling the best. And then style tips too, right? Thanks, Katie. Where you're feeling at the top of your game, and then things will start to slow down. So you can really make the most progress, or feel like you're making progress here versus here. Or this is also a place where you'll feel like, I'm kicking butt right now. I'm sticking to my program. I'm sticking to a plan. I set a meal plan, or you're doing something great, and it's going super well, and you're doing it here, and you're like, this just sucks, or did I really screw it up, or I had that cookie once, maybe that did it. It's not the cookie. It's not like having one cookie ruins everything. That's not how this works. But we do that. We think that, it's that one thing that I did, and then you get down on yourself like you ruined it all, when really the phase that you're in is just kind of, you got to sludge through it. And there's different things to focus on in terms of working with your body. Help your digestive system a little bit more here, because progesterone slows that down. Help your body flush things out, because everything is slowed down more. Now, another thing too, and I'm going to get into this more in the next couple of weeks. So if this is interesting to you, stay tuned, or, if you see a video pop up, save it to watch, because I'm going to dive into this a little bit more like nerdy stuff, because I think it's fascinating. And for those of you that are interested and want to learn more, this is what this is. How does this play into our fat cells here, and overall maintaining our weight loss? You stick it out, you're in 8 of 12 weeks, and you're 11 inches down. Yes, Katie, right? Yes. See, but it's not like, I got 11 inches down in 2 weeks. No, if that would happen for you, I would be concerned. Like, that's not good. That's not good, right? That's beautiful. Beautiful progress. I'm so proud of you. I really am. It's amazing. Okay, I got really excited for a second and got distracted. Estrogen, progesterone, talking about fat cells, this is what I'm going to go into. So shifting your eating to match your nutrition. I talk about that in my book. I've got a ton of videos on it on my YouTube channel if you want to subscribe and learn more about it. But overall, when we're looking at these things, there's nutrition, like whole food nutrition, that you can use that matches this. But when we talk about the effect on our fat cells and why it can be so tough for women to lose weight, one, you want to work with your hormones. That's a big, important key piece so that your body's working really, really well. But also know that your organs are in charge of flushing these hormones out. We'll just, these are general terms I'm using, right? Your body has to metabolize these hormones and work it through your system and get rid of them. New hormones are made, and the old hormones have to be metabolized and worked out. Now, that happens through your liver. Your liver, so these are fat cells. This is let me label this, otherwise you guys are gonna be like, what the heck? So this is a fat cell. And when a fat cell holds a bunch of stuff in it, energy, like when people are like, the calories get stored in your fat cells, it essentially breaks down into energy, for a way to think about it. So that gets stored in here. You can also get other things like, I'm going to color code this. Here's some estrogen that gets locked in your cells. We are bombarded by different estrogens in our environment from a lot of different things. That throws off and makes people become estrogen dominant. So if you've never heard that term before, Google it. Google estrogen dominant, and you'll be like, what? Mm-hmm. But, look, here's some progesterone, too, that gets locked in this fat cell. Look, here's some stress. Here's some cortisol. That gets locked in there, too. Now, why would this fat cell, because our fat cells, our body is so dynamic. You don't, get more and then get less. It's not like, here's a ton more of them and then they go away. You have the same number of them. They just get bigger or they shrink, right? They just expand like a balloon, or they shrink. Like you let all the air out of a balloon. So the air doesn't go out. It will not empty the energy from here and access this energy if there's a bunch of crap in there. It's too overwhelming for your liver to deal with. Your liver has to process all of these things and metabolize them out. And if your liver is already bombarded with more estrogens in your blood system, and it's backed up, it's backlogged, that's where it gets to be really, really tough. So you may feel like, I feel like I'm struggling, or I've got, my cycle has gotten worse and worse, my PMS has gotten worse or worse, or I've had these weird things happen, or I feel like it's my hormones or my metabolism's not working, my body's shifting and changing, my stress levels. Stress is like the angry monster that can also kick this off too for women. So Oh, such good news, right? Such good news. But your liver's in charge of taking these things, metabolizing it, and moving it out of the body. If your liver cannot handle that much overload, then your fat cells are just gonna be like, nope, we're just gonna help all our organs out, and we're gonna hold on to this guy for you. We're gonna hold on to it forever, as long as it takes, buddy. Yeah. So part of the process that I help women go through, besides eating for your hormones in your cycle, besides all these other things, is really also focusing on getting your organs to work for you too. Hey, gently detoxifying your system, helping your liver out. When people talk about detox, there's so many things out there like, oh, it doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. I'd be like, well, yeah, your body's supposed to detox all the time. But if there's way too much for it to handle, it just gets backlogged and it can't do it. That's where it gets locked in those fat cells. So we reverse that process. We help your liver out, and we get it to release the energy and release and metabolize all that excess hormone. Yes. Now, for some women, when they go through this, if you say going through your cycle, you've got a lot of issues going on, right? And your cycles are really bad here, or there's certain points during the month where you're like, this is just terrible for me. When your body starts to metabolize this through, it may throw this off a little bit, but it comes back around again. And again, I have a 12-week program where I work with women on implementing the right nutrition to match their bodies, to match their hormones, to get rid of that excess cortisol, to work with their stress, and just to get back on track. It's 12 weeks, not because I like making people go through a 12-week program, but because that's the hormone cycle for the female body. That's the body physiology. My honest philosophy on everything for nutrition and health and how everything, the recommendations I make for women, it starts with your physiology. It starts with the female body. How does your body work? How does it function? What are the natural mechanisms of it? And let's work from there and work with that versus saying, oh, it shouldn't be like this, or I don't want it to be like that. So now we're going to try and enforce something and implement something that's not meant for your body to do or to be, right? So that's literally the 12-week program. The nutrition plan that I work with women one-on-one going through is designed to do that, is designed to work with your body so that it functions a lot better. So you can do all sorts of crazy weird things to try and lose weight. I know this, right? I've seen it, I've heard of it, I've done some myself, right? Like everybody else. And they're not healthy, and you end up feeling like a pile of hot garbage. Keto is the one that's, I have a whole podcast that I did. The Female Health Solution is my podcast. I have a whole podcast that I did on the keto diet and why it's so awful for the female body. So I can put a link below if you guys want to listen, if you haven't listened to it. But holy cow, seriously. It really, the most common thing I hear from women is they're like, I tried it for a couple of weeks and yeah, I started to lose some weight, but I felt so terrible. I was exhausted. I just didn't feel good. Yeah, because you're really shutting down your body, and the weight that you're losing is not necessarily like the fat cell weight. You're losing muscle mass, which is harder for women to get. You don't want to lose your muscle mass. A lot of energy comes from your muscle tissue. Women, and especially as your body ages, like think about this. These are dietary things that you're doing now. I think about things like 500 years from now, what are people going to think about the way that we eat right now, right? They're going to look back and be like, why do people do that? That's crazy, right? Yeah, right, KB? Yeah, no. Oh. But, to force your body to do something that it's not meant to do it's going to backfire on you. That's why women that's why they don't feel good. And it's not sustainable. And then it's detrimental on your future health, right? So if you're decreasing your muscle tissue, women need muscle tissue for bone health, for other overall strength and everything else, right? Yes, Katie. Yes, no keto. So it's really, really important as the female body ages that females maintain enough muscle tissue. Because once you get to a point like, 60, 70, 80 years old, and I plan on being like 120, your body has an even harder time building and maintaining muscle tissue. Not that it can't, it's just harder and it's slow going. So getting it now and maintaining it now so much easier to do. So if you're doing things that are decreasing that muscle tissue, putting yourself into a deficit, you know, really, really harsh on your system, it's really, really tough. It's tough to come out of that and then have a healthy, strong body from there. So there's that. Sorry, I got a little rant because I got going on keto again, and I'm like, women should not do that. Sorry, guys. Oh, Erin, what did you say? You're going in for a physical tomorrow and you're exhausted. Body hurts all the time. You're tired. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Get some labs scheduled. Get your cortisol level scheduled. The other tough thing about that too, I'll put a link below if you want to have a conversation too. If anybody has any questions on some of this stuff, you can schedule a call with me. We can chat about any questions that you may have, how this works, where you're at, because there's stuff like that where I hear it from women all the time. They're like, I didn't do anything necessarily. I didn't change anything. Or, you know, maybe I could go to the gym more, but I make it to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. I don't feel like I should have gained 20 pounds in 2 months from that. What's going on? And it can be stuff like, hey, your body's so stressed out that it's throwing all your hormones off and everything is storing in your fat cells. And no matter what you do, it's not going to release it. That's not your fault, right? That's just how it goes. So you have to back up from there and start over with a new foundation of health. So that, and again, that's literally why I made my 12-week program, to help women with this. That's why I started doing this. It's very, very different way of looking at the female body. So if you guys are finding this helpful, I would so love and appreciate if you would share this with any other female that you know that could use this information. My mission is literally just to educate women on more things that you can do to take your health into your own hands, to be an advocate for your own health and your own results. Because there's so much info out there, but again, it's all geared towards men. If you're not focused on, hey, where's my body at and what's going on, and then how can I match that? It's not made for the female body, right? Ooh. Anyway, so hopefully this was some helpful info. Again, I'll put that link below if you want to have a call with me if you have questions, or if you want to message me with questions. Absolutely feel free. I answer questions all day long. This is part of, you know, why I have my book, why I have everything that I do, and put all this info out there. So what was the other thing I was going to tell you? But I started thinking about my nasty hair again. I'm really good with nutrition. The hair stuff, I will work on that, people. Sorry. Anyway, but this is something that I love doing. I love focusing on doing, and I love helping women get to the other side of this, because it's such a frustrating point for women to be in. It really, really is. So in the next, week or two, I'm still working on my next book, Nutrition for Female Athletes. But I'll be diving into more of the whole process behind this, like how this happens for women, helping your liver work harder for you, helping your liver detox, helping your body, get to a different point. And then also how long that takes. Because again, it doesn't take a day. Nope. It doesn't take a week. It doesn't take, for those of you that have done, I do a 21-day cleanse. Great. That's so great. But it's not 12 weeks. 12 weeks is a minimum phase for female hormones. Yeah, that's I didn't make that up. That's how the body works. Yep. Does this all play into thyroid? Yes, it does play into thyroid health. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So that's what I got for you ladies tonight. Please let me know any other questions. I appreciate you guys all sticking on till the end. And everybody have a great night and a great start to your week next week.